12 Decisions to Stay Grounded in a Chaotic World Introduction. A whisper back to yourself. There are mornings when you open your eyes, and before you can even take the first breath, you already feel yourself slowing down. Not against the clock, but against your own life. Thoughts crash in like waves. Unanswered emails, unopened messages, yesterday's lingering words, tomorrow's worries already casting shadows. You haven't left the bed, but your mind has already run off. And the moment your hand touches your phone, that's when the day no longer belongs to you. You're okay. You work, you reply, you move forward. But some nights when lying down, you sigh in silence and ask, am I truly living or merely reacting? You're not alone in that feeling. Chris once felt the same. Always busy, always in a rush. Until one day in the middle of plans and to-do lists, he realized he wasn't living. He was merely bracing himself, not moving with direction, but out of fear of falling behind. Stoicism, the philosophy of those who lived through war, collapse, and loss, does not teach you to avoid storms. It teaches you how to stand still within the storm and remain yourself. You don't need to control the world. You only need to control how you show up in it. You don't need a day cleared of all tasks. You only need a quiet moment to listen to yourself again. That is why I wrote these 12 decisions, not to make you more successful, more disciplined, or more productive, but to help you, in a world that flows like water, hold on to an anchor, a small act of freedom, a whispered reminder, I'm still here, and I'm still me. Decision 1. Begin. Even if you're not ready. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when I'm ready? When you have time, when your knowledge is sufficient, when your confidence improves, when you feel enough. But when will that when ever come? Rachel, a freelance writer, had been nurturing a blog idea for over 2 years. The topic? Clear. The passion? Burning. Yet each time she opened a blank page, a whisper rose in her mind. It's not good enough yet. Everyone's already written about this. Who would even read it? And so, another day passed. Still no beginning. It's not laziness. It's fear. Fear of doing it poorly. Fear of being seen doing it poorly. Fear of not being good enough. And sometimes, fear that if you really try and still fail, then what? You are not alone in this. Matt, a young developer, once built an app in a single night. He spent the whole weekend fine-tuning the UI, crafting the UX, and designing a landing page. But he never uploaded it to GitHub, not because it wasn't ready, but because he was afraid of being seen before he was impressive. You think you're waiting for the right time, but the truth is, each time you delay, you are building the habit of not trusting yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you could be good today, but instead, you choose tomorrow. Carl Jung said, you are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Course practice suggestion. Grab a sheet of paper or open your phone. Write down one thing you've been putting off. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Begin. Don't aim far. Don't aim to be good. Just act. Your reflective questions. If today were all I had, what would I start? If no one judged me, what would I do differently? Am I waiting to be ready, or am I just postponing myself? To closing thought, beginning is a spiritual act. It doesn't require endless courage, just 10 seconds of bravery. And in those 10 seconds, you don't just start a project. You restart your belief in yourself. You don't have to do something grand. You just have to begin. Even if awkward, even if unpolished, even if no one sees it, still begin. Decision 2. Be present, not perfect. There's a form of procrastination that doesn't look like laziness. It looks like over-preparation. Emily isn't afraid to act. She wrote the script, rehearsed her talk, adjusted the lighting, even tested the internet connection. She was ready for her first live stream on writing skills, but she never hit go live. The slides still need a bit more polish. My voice isn't quite smooth yet. It'll be better when I feel more confident. And every time she waited for the right moment, Emily moved a little further away from herself. Why do we delay showing up? It's not because we lack ability. It's not because we don't know enough. It's because we fear being seen before we are perfect. We fear being misunderstood. We fear saying the wrong thing. We fear being seen as not good enough yet. We were taught to be polished, precise, proper. But we forget. No one trusts you because you're perfect. They trust you when you're real. Marcus Aurelius once reminded, "Don't waste time thinking about what you should be. Act like the person you want to become." Epictetus taught, "Not everything you say must be right. It just has to be true." Practice suggestion. Today, choose one action, small but honest. Write something unedited. Say something without dressing it up in perfect words. Send a video that's not polished. You don't need everything to be perfect before you begin. You only need to show up as your true self. Reflective questions. Am I waiting for perfection or afraid of being seen as I am? If I could speak one true thing today, not impressive, just true, what would it be? Do I want to be liked, or do I want to be known for who I truly am? Closing thought: perfection is a beautiful mask, but presence, real, raw presence, is where your essence can breathe. When you dare to show up, trembling, imperfect, unfiltered, that is the moment you begin to heal yourself. People don't connect with your polish. They connect with your presence. The Stoics reimagined. Choose decision 3. Choose discipline over inspiration. Have you ever waited for inspiration to write? Waited for the mood to strike before you began? You know exactly what needs to be done, but you think, now's not the right time. Jake, a young designer, had a beautiful personal project. He set a goal to finish it in 3 months. Then the first week passed, then the third, then the whole month. No inspiration yet. Ideas haven't matured. If I do it now, it won't feel right. Why do we overvalue inspiration? Because inspiration feels like a gust of wind. It makes us feel extraordinary, motivated, on fire. But inspiration is not obligated to visit you daily, and often it betrays you right when you need it most. In the morning, you're full of ideas. By afternoon, you feel empty. By night, you don't even know why you felt inspired this morning. Stoicism doesn't wait for inspiration. It chooses discipline, but not the harsh kind, the kind that stems from self-respect. Epictetus wrote, "First say to yourself what kind of person you want to be, then do what you must." Carl Jung said, "You do not become enlightened by imagining light, but by making the darkness conscious, day after day." Your practice suggestion. Choose one small action you can repeat daily. Write 200 words, even if they're bad. Move for 10 minutes, even if it's just walking. Turn off your screen and breathe for 5 minutes, even if your mind resists. No need for inspiration. No need for dramatic results. Just consistent action. Reflective questions. Am I waiting for inspiration or avoiding difficulty? If inspiration never comes, would I still be willing to do the work? Do I want to act like a professional or like someone ruled by moods? Closing thought: inspiration is a guest. Discipline is the host. Every time you act, without waiting to feel ready, you build something stronger than motivation: self-trust. And that trust doesn't need applause. It only needs quiet repetition, like the sunrise each morning. Don't wait for the fire. Be the match. Decision 4. Guard the silence before the world reaches you. You haven't even stepped out of bed, but your mind has already been occupied by appointments, notifications, reminders, other people's voices. And so the day begins, not with awareness, but with reaction. What happened? You woke up and let the world enter your mind before you had the chance to ask, who am I today? What do I need? Where do I want to go? You thought you were checking the news, but really you were losing your inner footing. Olivia used to meditate for 5 minutes every morning, but after a few busy weeks, she stopped. She said, "There's no time. I have to get things done. I need to catch up." But gradually she noticed she was still working, still living, but something deep had gone missing. She had lost herself. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, once reminded, "The person who can keep their mind still is no longer disturbed by the world." Carl Jung said, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid confronting their own soul." And one of the most subtle ways to run away today is to pick up your phone. Your practice suggestion: create a sacred first hour each morning. Oh, no internet. Oh, no reacting. Oh, just you in your inner space. Spend 10 minutes writing freely, sipping water, or just sitting in stillness. Reflective questions. Who enters my mind each morning? Before I do, does silence still have a place in my daily rhythm? What I touch first each morning, does it nourish me or drain me? Closing thought: your morning silence isn't a luxury, it's a mental immune system. If you don't protect it, the world will fill it with noise, scripts, expectations that aren't yours. Keep the silence, not to hide, but to remember who you are before the world tells you who to be. Stoic whisper. Decision 5. Choose the essential. Over everything have you ever felt busy all day, yet strangely empty by night? You finished a dozen tasks but can't recall which of them truly mattered. David, a father and a dedicated employee, shared, "I always say I'm busy, but being busy doesn't mean I'm truly living. I'm managing life, not building it." Why do we chase everything? Because busyness makes us feel important. But really, we're running on a wheel that goes nowhere. If you don't know what's essential, then everything becomes urgent. And urgent always wins in a day without intention. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Most of what we do is unnecessary. Remove the unnecessary and you'll gain time and peace." Carl Jung warned, busyness is a subtle form of self-avoidance. Practice suggestion. Write down your single most essential goal for the next 3 months. Look at today's calendar. Now cross off 2 tasks that don't serve that goal. Or dedicate the first hour of the day to what's important, not just urgent. Reflective questions. Why am I doing this? If I didn't do this today, what would actually change? Am I moving closer to what I want, or just staying busy to feel less anxious? Conclusion. Clarity is a mark of maturity. It's not that you lack time. You're giving time to things that don't deserve it. Each time you say no to the unimportant, you make space for something deeper to arrive. Don't confuse movement with progress. Don't confuse busyness with meaning. Stoic insight. Decision 6. Set principles, not negotiations. You once told yourself, today I will definitely exercise. Then evening came, and you said, maybe tomorrow. You set a goal to write each morning. Then the night before, you thought, tomorrow's a bit rough. I'll catch up this weekend. You're not lacking willpower. You're just tired from constantly negotiating with yourself. Why do we keep negotiating? Because we think flexibility is wisdom. But too much flexibility kills self-trust. Every time you forgive the thing you didn't do, you send your mind a message. I'm not really serious about what I set for myself. Anna, a writer, once said, I'm not afraid of deadlines. I'm afraid of not keeping promises to myself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, when you wake, remind yourself, today I must live as a human being, not to delay, but to do what's already been decided. Practice suggestion. Choose 2 to 3 non-negotiable actions for your day. OEG, write 200 words. Exercise for 15 minutes. Read 10 pages. It doesn't need to be much, but it must be clear, and it must not be up for debate. Reflective questions. What do I need to do, regardless of how I feel? Am I negotiating too much about things I already know are right? If someone lived like I did today, who would they become? Conclusion. Discipline isn't punishment. It's a deep form of self-respect. Don't ask yourself every day if you feel like it. Ask, is it who you want to be? Stoic discipline. Each time you don't bargain with yourself, you build a pillar in a chaotic world. It doesn't have to be tall, it just has to be firm. Self-respect is built in silent repetition. Here's decision 7. Choose to face it, not avoid it. Some things aren't big, but the longer you avoid them, the heavier they become. A call to make, a post to finish, a conversation to begin, an emotion left unnamed. You know what you need to do, but you avoid it. Not because you can't, but because you're afraid of how it might feel. Avoidance, a sweet and dangerous strategy. You say, I'm waiting for the right time. You say, I'm not ready. You say, it's not urgent. But deep down, you know you're not postponing the task. You're postponing honesty. Sam, a software engineer, had a startup idea for 2 years. Everything was nearly ready, but he kept saying, I need to refine it more. It's not good enough to pitch yet. He thought he was preparing, but really he was avoiding the feeling of rejection. Marcus Aurelius wrote, procrastination is the gentlest form of death. Epictetus insisted, no one can hurt you unless you allow it. Carl Jung added, your shadow will haunt you until you have the courage to face it. Practice suggestion. Choose one thing you've been avoiding, even if it's small. Just reopen the file, write 3 lines, draft the message. You don't need to finish it. You just need to start looking at it. Reflective questions. What am I postponing, and what feeling am I afraid of? If I face it, what's the worst that could happen? Who do I want to be? The one who faces it, or the one who lives in waiting? Conclusion. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is walking forward, even with shaking hands. Each time you face it, even a little, you reclaim a piece of power that fear once held. Every time you face it, it loses a little power, and you regain a little self. Stoic practice. So decision 8, choose deep presence over surface living. You may be there, but not really there. You're in a conversation, but your mind is elsewhere. You're eating, but don't recall the taste. You're scrolling, but can't tell what's you and what's them. Your body is busy, but your mind is scattered. Why do we live on the surface? Because going deep can hurt. Deep is where loneliness waits in silence. Deep is where your real voice speaks, without filters. So we entertain. We multitask. We let each moment drift in a half-conscious state. Marcus Aurelius once said, do each act as if it were your last. Carl Jung emphasized, it's the small repeated actions that shape your soul. Practice suggestion. Choose one small activity today and be fully present in it. Oh, drink water, no phone. O, listen to a loved one. No internal rebuttal. O, wash dishes, no music. Ask yourself each hour, where is my mind right now? Reflective questions. Am I really living this moment? What part of me is avoiding the present? If this were the last time I did this, how would I do it differently? Conclusion. Deep presence doesn't need more time. It just needs conscious choice. Each time you pause to truly be present, you give your soul a sip of clarity. Depth isn't found in big ideas. It's found in how you live the smallest moments. Stoic stillness. Decision 9. Choose emotional mastery over automatic reaction. Just one sentence, just one look, just one message that didn't land right, and suddenly your entire inner world trembles. You feel angry. You feel hurt. You feel disrespected. You want to strike back. You want to explain. You want to react immediately. Why do we react so fast? Because we think we need to defend ourselves in every moment. Because immediate reaction gives us the illusion of control. But true strength isn't in reaction. It's in the ability to choose your reaction. Julia, a therapist, once cried, just because of a colleague's comment. At that moment, I didn't hear what they said. I only heard an old voice in me. You're not good enough. Epictetus taught, it's not things that upset you, but how you think about them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if it doesn't harm your essence, then it's you who let it harm you. Carl Jung warned, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Practice suggestion. When emotion arises, pause for 3 seconds. O, take a deep breath. O, don't respond to the message yet. O, don't write while your hands are shaking. Ask yourself, is this emotion or is this a reflex? Can I view this from another angle? Reflective questions. What emotion is leading me right now? Am I hearing others or old wounds inside me? What response would help me respect myself more? Conclusion. Emotional mastery doesn't mean suppression. It means you're the one at the wheel. Reaction is instinct. Choice is power. And calm is the highest form of freedom. Mastering yourself doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you're no longer ruled by everything. Stoic calm. Decision 10. Choose stillness over mindless busyness. Have you ever had a day like this? You work nonstop. You reply to messages, toggle tabs, race through deadlines, handle countless requests. But when you finally sit down at night, you feel strangely empty. You did so much, but you didn't really go anywhere. Ethan, a project manager, had a packed calendar, a big team, and seemingly important work. But after a few months, he began losing sleep, forgetting things, struggling to focus. During a meditation retreat, someone asked him, what was the most important thing in the last 3 months? And he couldn't answer. Not because he did nothing, but because he'd been living in automatic busyness without awareness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, be careful not to live as if you'll live forever. Life isn't stolen in one blow. It's eroded by the meaningless, day by day. Stoicism doesn't stop you from working hard. It simply asks, is this essential? Is this taking you where you truly want to go? Carl Jung once wrote, busyness is a subtle form of self-avoidance, and often society praises it. You might have a very productive day, but never actually live. You eat in a rush, sleep in a rush, respond in a rush, work in a rush, and slowly your spirit fades in the spin. Today, give yourself 20 minutes of stillness. Do nothing. Don't achieve anything. Don't try to grow, just sit and breathe. Write unspoken feelings. Gaze at something small you usually overlook. Sunlight, a leaf, a loved one's face. Stillness isn't laziness. Stillness is your quiet rebellion against a rushing world, to protect the part of you that still remembers how to be. You weren't born to run nonstop. You were born to live deeply and live meaningfully. And sometimes, meaning begins the moment you dare to pause and ask, why am I doing this? If today were the last, would I choose to live this way? Decision 11. Choose honesty with yourself over living for others' eyes. Have you ever smiled while your heart was breaking, said I'm fine, while silently screaming inside? Not because you're fake, but because you've grown used to living through others' eyes. What are we afraid of when we live truthfully? Rejection, misunderstanding, being labeled different, too blunt, too much. So you compromise, a little at first, then more. You don't say what you think. You do what you don't want. You stay silent when your heart wants to speak. Lisa, a kind and capable woman, was always praised as pleasant, helpful, but every time she heard that, she felt sad, because the price she paid was her true voice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Live in a way that you don't need to hide anything, not even your thoughts." Carl Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are, but you can't become yourself if you're busy pleasing others." Practice suggestion. Today, speak one thing you truly believe, even if it's small. Oh, I'm tired. I need a break. Oh, I don't agree with that. Oh, I'm not ready. If you can't say it yet, write down one thing you wish you could say. Oh, read it. Acknowledge it. Name it. Reflective questions. What am I pretending? Who might leave if I live truthfully? And who might come closer? When was the last time I was honest, even if misunderstood? Conclusion. You weren't born to be a mirror, reflecting others' expectations. You were born to be a candle, carrying your own light. Each time you live truthfully, you don't just heal yourself. You give others permission to do the same. The courage to be disliked is the door to the freedom of being. Stoic integrity. Decision 12. Choose to be steady in the storm, not wish for a calm life. We often think, I'll be at peace when everything is peaceful. I'll be happy when no one can hurt me. I'll feel light when the world settles down. But that's a dream that never fully arrives. What is the truth? Storms always come. People always change. The world is always uncertain. But the Stoic will ask, if the storm never ends, can you learn to be the rock? Brandon, a devoted teacher, once lost control over the smallest things. A student interrupting, an email from a parent, a critical comment. He felt uncentered, uneasy, lost. Until one day, instead of trying to control others, he began observing himself. He watched his anger, watched his hurt, watched the scream inside, and slowly, he learned to sit with it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like the rock against which the waves keep crashing. It stands firm, and the raging of the sea falls still around it." Carl Jung reminded, "A happy life cannot be without shadow. Dignity lies in how you carry the light through the dark." Practice suggestion. Today, when something bothers you, try not to react immediately. Take 3 deep breaths. Write down, oh, what is this wave trying to teach me? Oh, where can I be more grounded? Reflective questions. Am I avoiding challenges or learning to walk through them? Am I reacting or choosing? Is today's storm the teacher I once asked for? Conclusion, You cannot avoid the storm, but you can become the person the storm cannot shake. Steadiness doesn't mean you don't hurt. It means you hurt and still don't lose yourself. It means knowing what within you cannot be taken. Storms don't break you. They show you what you're really made of. stoicCoreX strength. Final reflection. A journey back to yourself. You've walked through 12 decisions. None of them demand you change your entire life. They simply ask, each day return to yourself. Once. Each time you do, you're not just applying a philosophy, you're shaping your soul. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You don't need to be a perfect Stoic. You only need to sit with yourself each morning. Ask what truly matters today. Then act, even clumsily, even quietly. That is how you rewrite fate. Not with grand victories, but with small, deliberate, steady choices. Final invitation. If you carry only one truth from this journey, let it be this. You are not the problem. You are proof that inner freedom still exists. You don't need to control the world. You only need to choose yourself in this moment. Keep walking. Keep choosing yourself. We'll be right here when you're ready.